Am I stuck in the door? Yes, I am. Hey! Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in DayZ, and yes, today is the big day for all platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. We have the 1.17 patch for everyone, and we also have the long-anticipated wipe character board and board wipe across all platforms is happening today. And most likely, it's actually going to happen around 8 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. But by the time you guys are watching this, it's already going to be through. Strong suggestion here, after you do update, whether it's on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation, make sure you restart the game, especially for the console players. Give it a hard restart. If you don't know what that is, just hold your power button for 10 seconds after the update has been completed, and the servers should populate for you there on the list. I know that's been a thing in the past. All right, so let's go over some of the patch notes here. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. By the way, we are going to be doing this live on stream over on the console side, and it's going to be fantastic. So join us. It's going to be an absolute mayhem on the beaches, and we cannot wait to get up in Livonia, as we are right now, one of our favorite places in Livonia, which is the airfield, which is now a toxic zone. Okay. Immediately here it says, while you wait for the servers to come back, here are the patch notes for PC 1.17 update. Console ones will follow when the console servers go down. We already know what's coming, so we're going to go down the main list here. Here's the Steam client, consider defragmented hard drive. Yeah, same kind of thing we were saying before. Okay, so the game added, again, this is 1.17 154.732. So they've added the CR550 Savannah rifle, the Longhorn pistol, and the P1 pistol. Craftable spear, bone and stone head variants. That's back in the game. I'm telling you, that's huge for us. The pitchfork, craftable bone knife, also extremely useful. The cleaver, meat tenderizer. It's good for bopping zombies. That's also very quiet. The kitchen timer, which is a timed noisemaker. Craftable fireplace stand. Brooms can be lit and used as torches. Improvised clothes from rags. That's huge. Let me just tell you real quick. Not only the improvised rope, and we'll have more detail on this, but the improvised rags is a big deal because let's say you don't have gloves on, you can make improvised gloves. If you lose your shoes, you can make improvised foot wraps that'll kind of help the wear and tear on your feet. They're not going to last a long time, but it'll be enough for you to get into town and maybe find some shoes. That's huge. We already said the improvised rope. Improvised gas mask filter, awesome. Gas mask filters can now be refilled with charcoal tablets, huge. Additional sensitivity settings for camera and aiming. Cookware is slowly getting damaged by being used. That's cool. Gas mask filters can damage while in use. Voice activation setting for VoIP. Ability to go back and forth through multiple actions on the same item. New points of interest in Livonia, which I'm sure we'll discover while we live stream. Real fast here. For the console players, this is huge. Big quality of life for us. We've got control schemas that came through. We have been playing through them on experimental. And again, this is for PlayStation and Xbox. There will be a control scheme. If you go to the controller settings, you can use the old one or you can use the new one. I would strongly recommend getting used to the new ones, as there's a lot of nice features in there. You can really control your VoIP. You can say whether or not it's voice activated. And after you do get used to the new setting, you can actually switch through your inventory and combine things a lot faster, especially during combat or combat looting, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm the master of combat looting. Who am I kidding? Okay, so let's go through the fixed. Gear could not be added to other players' inventories. That's been fixed. Sound of hitting obstacles with a vehicle while reversing wasn't played. Dropped items were pushed upwards in certain situations. During punching, the player would turn sideways in some situations. That's great. Some of the sounds for the Sarco 120 engine came from the front wheel areas as opposed to the engine in the back. Also good. It's great for immersion. Shelters weren't buildable on some places. That's cool. A burned out fireplace is no longer producing light. Canceling activation of the bear trap and landmine caused errors. Fixed rendering exploits related to buildings. The visual effects of contaminated area partly persisted after it was despawned. Focus zoom briefly reset during several actions of the first person. Hair clipped with MVG head strap on female characters has now been fixed. An incorrect texture of ruined wheels caused a server error on restart. Issues with object collision on military guardhouse. Players could climb through closed windows in some buildings. I think that's great that we found that out, right? I think it's great. The players, excuse my voice crack. The players were able to pick up the fire barrel while items were attached to it. That's kind of hot, but I'm sad that that's gone. The sound of starting, stopping engine was not present for other players. The sound of opening or closing vehicle doors was not present for other players. The sound of turning off and on the alarm clock wasn't audible for other players. A staircase handrail in one of the city's houses caused blocks was missing a collision. What? City house blocks was missing a collision. Okay, that was an odd sentence. The attachment icon didn't correctly reflect attachment optics on the rail weapons. On rails, on weapons. Jeez. It's already bad I can't read, right? Attaching more nails to the flagpole caused errors. Sharpened wooden sticks caused errors when damaged. They got a lot of these fixed, because we did crash on a few of these when we were testing. Filters, server by favorite games. I'm sorry, favorites. Favorited gives error 9 in server. Hello. Traps did not react to vehicles. Head tracking and tracking IR did not work. That's not really for us on the console side, but it is for PC. Fixed several environment issues on Chernarus and Livonia. Certain gestures would make the character float above the ground when executed in prone. Light and heavy melee attack combinations would sometimes result in too much damage. The sound of ear ringing caused by the flash grenade could get stuck at some situations. Ruined, I'm not even going to attempt to read that. The hat did not properly reflect its state. Mouse cursor was invisible at the respawn menu. Reworked Nizoi and village, the Nizoi village on Chernarus. Added a favorite server when already, by the way, these are changes. There's so many here. We'll go through the main stuff here and then the known issues, and then we'll be done with this because this is huge. We don't want to make this terribly long. Adding a favorite server would, when already at max 25, will throw an error instead of removing a random favorite. Microphone now continues to listen while the player is tabbed out, but only if the option graphic sounds is set to update in background option. VoIP push-to-talk mode has now now has a release delay of 0.5 seconds to prevent voice cutouts. That's nice. That's also for us as well over on the console side. All heat sources are now emitting heat. Sensitivity settings is now exponential instead of linear. Bark can now be harvested with axes. That's fantastic. Drain and pour liquid actions are now properly separated. Adjust the wolf model to allow more precise headshots. Yeah, that's great. The burning duration of torches now correctly depends on the amount of fuel. Food can be baked in a cookware even without lard or water. Ooh! Food loses its quantity when cooked in cookware even without lard or water. Quantity or quality? Quantity? Weapon sway increased dramatically while the character is rolling. Fireplaces start heating up the player character faster now. That's good, but it also can overheat you. So if you want to dry your clothes, either wring them out or drop them in front or do both. Position of the light source of the Sarka 120 when only a single headlight is out is set to the proper position. Players are no longer able to get into a vehicle while holding a heavy item. Oh, man. Stone knives can no longer be sharpened with the sharpening stone. Boo! Action inputs will be prioritized over inventory actions, e.g., example, climbing a ladder before dropping your item in hands. Updated game credits. A lot of modding things here, and then we have known issues. A landmine disappears after disarming. Thrown spears, sharp long wooden sticks and torches fall under the ground, so when you throw them, just a heads up. Missing sound while base building or mining stones with meat tenderizer. I did not know you could mine stones with the meat tenderizer. Players get desync when equipping a weapon after canceling equip animation before. That'll be big for us on the console side. Okay, note to self, if the animation gets canceled, you might have to relog. We'll test it out. When kindling fuel items become ruined in the fire, player is unable to add the same item before the ruined one disappears. Roasting sound effects remains when cooking equipment even after the roasting is done. Raised flag on the flagpole is missing an option to lower the flag. So if you're doing base building, just a heads up there with that one. So there you go. That's what we have going on today. Again, big wipe happening. That's character and a board wipe, so we're all starting anew. And hey, if you're on Xbox Game Pass, this is still on there. So if you've got it, just try the game, especially if you like survival. Now, just a little heads up. Anybody who's starting this game for the very first time, it is extremely difficult. But if you do like open world survival and you like a challenge, this game is super awesome. Oh, I should mention, if you're brand new, I do have a starter guide on how to survive your first day in DayZ. I will go ahead and link that now in the upper right hand corner. Go check that bad boy out. It will help you tremendously, as there's a big learning curve to this game, but I think even just doing that little bit there in the front end, just surviving your first day, will help you kind of get acclimated and kind of go, okay, this is how this game works. But it's super fun, super rewarding, and there's nothing quite like this game when you've got the adrenaline rush where you hear somebody rip a shot and you've been building your character for hours and hours, or even days, and you're like, the fear sets in, you're like, oh no. I love it. I can't get enough of it, and I'm super excited for the update, and I'm really excited for this wipe, and hopefully we'll see you guys on the beach. And keep a lookout. Again, if you found this useful and helpful, be sure to drop a like. If you're into it, consider dropping that subscribe and turning on that notification bell. Again, we'll be live streaming this today, and throughout the week, we'll also be sprinkling in some Rust, of course. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys there, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye!